Good evening, everyone. We are now in the city of Takoma Park. Right now, we at Takoma Park Elementary School. I actually attended this school as well. They actually redid this school. It didn't look like this when we went here. It was actually a daycare that was over there. Now it's a parking lot. But this was our play area. All this was the playground for us to come outside and play. As you can see, all this looks different. I haven't been up here in years. We used to have field day. So as you can see, it's a hill. And they used to have this little plastic thing, and we used to slide down this hill. As you can see, they changed it a little bit. But today, in the city of Takoma Park in Maryland, I have a special story for you guys. This story is about no other but the Bunny Man. You heard it right, y'all. The Bunny Man. The story of the Bunny Man is that he actually lived in Virginia. This is the first time so all the stories you would hear about the Bunny Man is actually stories of him being in Virginia, like the Bunny Man Bridge, and stories you would hear for how he would pop up and underneath this bridge, and actually this bridge is protected by the police. Like they say, the police will pop up if you try to go to this bridge. But you never heard the story about the Bunny Man in the city of Takoma Park. And this is the first time you will hear a story or somebody bringing you the story of the Bunny Man. I didn't even know that there was actually a Bunny Man in somewhere else. I thought the Bunny Man was just a story at the time that was only here in Takoma Park, and that the older guys would tell us the story just to get us to get into the house, and this was the way for us to get on Maple Avenue, for us to get home. As you can see, the apartment buildings, this was the way for us. So we didn't have the rails on the side. This was all kind of like dirt. So when we would get here, you didn't want to be the last one to enter these gates, to walk through these gates. So everybody will run. So as you can see how close the school is. So I'm gonna walk over there. So this tree wasn't as big as it is now. So as you can see now, it's like a path. And this is also a hill. So guys, I'm talking about from 1981 to 1986 is the time frame that I'm giving you guys. So right here, as you can see, it's houses over there, and the reason why we will run right here by this big tree right here, see this tree right here, it was a house. It was a two-story house that sat here by itself. And I actually tried to go find records of this house. You can't find no records of it. I went into the archives. I couldn't find nothing about the house, but they claimed that this house was abandoned, that nobody lived in this house. I think it was like a blue house. But kids would say they would see an older lady looking through the windows of this house that was right here. So as time went on, kids became missing. Kids started missing coming from the elementary school. So if anybody went to school, they remember this back in Takoma Park Elementary. So the teachers would pinned a note on everybody to take back to our parents and let the parents know that kids was missing, leaving school. So the saying was that this lady that lived in here, this old lady that they said was a witch that lived here, which was supposed to have been an abandoned house, was actually kidnapping the kids. So that's why we will run, because they said if you was the last one to come down, that she would grab you. So the house is no longer here anymore, as you can see. It was along right here. It was all this area right here where the house was. It was right next to this tree. So you think it would be some kind of records or anything. So so the myth was that they was kidnapping the kids. So it was so much kidnapping that the city actually tore down the house. Tore the house down because kids was going home telling their moms and their parents that it was this house that was kidnapping the kids. But when the police would come, they wouldn't find no kids actually in the house, or there was nobody in the house. So as you can see where I'm walking at now would been in the house. All this would been like the basement that I'm walking in. So as you can see, this would have been in the actual house right here. So this would have been like in the basement of the house. And as you can see, it's a sewer. And as you can see, it's a nice sewer that you can fit people down there. Like you can actually go down there. So I'm gonna show you where this actually sewer heads to. As you can see, this would still have been the house. So they could have been taking the kids and putting them in the sewer. And you wouldn't be able to see them because, let me show you guys. Once again, this is the story of the Bunny Man. So see, they redid this whole little section right here. This is Takoma Park, Piney Branch. This is actually a play area. This is actually a playground for us, where all the kids used to play at. So as you can see from over there is the sewer. So that sewer runs all underneath this right here. It runs underneath this whole play area right here that we actually this whole field. So from that house to come all the way underneath here is actually a sewer, a drainage that goes underneath here. So to get back to the Bunny Man, they were saying that was the Bunny's man, that was his mother, that people was actually seeing. So the Bunny Man, his mom would get him to come out to kidnap kids. So we thought he was the Bunny Man because he actually would kill bunnies. That's what we thought is coming up as kids. But really, that's not the case. He was actually kidnapping kids, taking kids, and kids was coming up missing. So this whole field right here, we called it the Bunny Man's playground. This is where he would play at. And this where people actually seen the Bunny Man at certain times of the day. Maybe one day I would tell my story on my encounter with the Bunny Man. There's a few other people who actually came across the Bunny Man. Now people don't know too much about the Bunny Man because that was back in, the 80s, the 90s. These kids don't know too much about it, but you would rarely see anybody out here at a certain time because you wanted to hurry up and not be outside as a kid because you knew at nighttime the Bunny Man would show up. So here's another set of woods right here that we would take some of the kids we would take these woods right here to get home, whoever lived in that building. So this is the main place and the main interactions most people saw with the Bunny Man. I mean, you never know. By me sitting here calling out his name, he probably would show up. I won't put it past it. I mean, there's few people. That would be my next. That'd be part 2 of the video. Would be me actually interviewing people, so they can tell their story about the Bunny Man. Because at first it was people would laugh about it, people would joke about it, and then and then take them serious. And it was one time I actually said his name, and he actually he didn't let me down, y'all. He definitely didn't let me down. So, but right now I don't feel like I ain't trying to see him right now. So this is actually the woods. So also as kids, like as I told you guys over there at the elementary school, we would run, and you didn't want to be the last one because you felt like you would get caught. That's weird. I don't know if y'all can see that, but my GoPro just froze and it's saying 0 on it now. That never happened before on my GoPro. Never happened. It's not even coming on. Look, it's not even. So let me just show you guys real quick. Right now we on the other side. It got kind of dark out here. On the other side of where the house is at, and on the other side of the field. So as you can see, it's the sewer. Can y'all see that? There's the sewer all the way on the other side. So they said he would come through with the kids, and then he would come. This is how he would actually maneuver from here in these woods back up. So we are still in the same woods. As you can see, you hear a whole lot of kids just playing in these woods, not knowing. Let's see what they got going on, not knowing if they actually knew the story of the Bunny Man. They probably even came across something, who knows, and actually seen something. But if they know what's really known, they probably wouldn't even be, you know. So this is still the woods right here. I don't know what that is. It looks like a couple of kids, like a little camp or something that's going on. Hello. How you doing? Hi. Just walking through doing a documentary, that's all.
Oh, yeah, enjoy the woods. What do you think that is?
Yeah, as you can see, this still the woods go all the way back.
Oh, yeah, enjoy the woods.
I will be making a part 2. Part 2 will actually be, like I said, me actually talking to people who had encounters with the Bunny Man. Let y'all know, there go Park Ritchie. Or what stories people heard about the Bunny Man. Like I said, nobody actually talked about the Bunny Man. No other place but Virginia. Nobody never heard nobody talk about him in the city of Takoma Park. Even now, when you bring it up, in the city of Takoma Park, you say the Bunny Man. Nowadays, the generation like 2 beneath me don't even know who the Bunny Man is or the story behind the Bunny Man. But I really think the Bunny Man, from researching, seeing how he left the home in Virginia when he escaped, I do feel like he was, they say his mother had passed away already. So I think he was coming here to look for his mom. And I think, this is just my theory, guys. This is just my theory, because I'm pretty sure in the story, if you let them tell it, in many nights up here, man, many nights alone, just sitting up here on this field. This field also means a lot to me. So that's a whole nother story. So you might hear, so I do feel like when he escaped from Virginia, he made his way up to the city of Takoma Park. And I think the witch was his mom, and they actually did live in that house right there. Because as kids, that's all we would talk about, like the witch. We would run. And like I said, if I sit down and talk, I would tell my part of what I seen, and you know, maybe in part 2 or part 3, I'll tell you what I seen, what I encounter with the witch, with the Bunny Man. Like I said, I've been here for 43 years. Maybe there's some other kids out there who do remember this story, who will see this video and be like, oh, I remember the witch. I remember seeing her. If you did, you have any input, make sure to reach out to me. But it had to been some kind of truth to this. I mean, me personally, I know it's true. Or I wouldn't be doing this video. I would be just making this up. Like me personally, I know the Bunny Man is real. I know the witch was real. I know the house was real. And it's a lot of other people out there who witness it. Just as you see in Virginia, if you pull it up in Virginia, you see their videos and their stories about it. It's the same kind of stories that you will hear here. It ain't like the stories all the way in Florida or upstate New York. Is right here in Virginia, so it's nothing for him to make his way over here in the city of Takoma Park. To make his way in the city of Takoma Park. And like I said, I did research. I went and tried to find out more information about the house, like when it was built. I had people also help me out. Thanks to you guys who was trying to help me out with information. We went to the library, and you can't find nothing on this house, y'all. Nothing at all. Maybe somebody can help me dig a little deeper, because I know you have to get some kind of something signed off before you can just tear down the house. But and I even researched about the missing kids, and they only showed you a few of them from back in the 80s and 1980s. But there was a lot of kids, and some people do remember when we went to school, they pinned that on us. That, you know, to let our parents know, because we didn't have social media. It wasn't the whole cell phones and like how it is now. That's how you relay messages back to your parents, or the message was spread was through a note pinned on to your kids. Then you have the kids who would go home and tell their parents what was going on. Or we would come to school the next day, and the teacher would talk to us about it and be like, if anybody in that house, like they would talk about that house. They would say, if anybody in that house try to call you over there or anything like that, or if you see a lady, don't go over there. Like they was really talking to us about it, to the point where we was scared. And now that I think back at it, like why didn't they have, as you can see, the municipal building is right here, is actually also the police station. Like why wouldn't they have a teacher standing there, or a police officer standing there, or something standing there at the time to protect us, to make sure we was okay. Right here, it says kids, when we would run down from Takoma Park Elementary School, because of the house right that was placed right there, this right here was a trailer. And this would scare us so much, and I don't know why they would actually have this sitting here, but this trailer was an older gentleman, and he was renting out tools, like power saw tools, and he would actually have dead animals. Which was rabbits. I mean, dead animals, dead rabbits that was sitting in front of this actual trailer home, you guys. And I know some of y'all remember that. So you can actually go there and rent power tools from him, like saws and anything. But he had dead animals hanging on strings.